Podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Listen to other great tech podcasts at www.techpodcasts.com.
Yo, you are in the right place at the right time, listening to the right thing. Tech Webcast. Congratulations on choosing such an awesome thing to listen to. You are clearly very smart. You're into tech stuff. You love hearing Brad and Jason and their guests chat. And you're probably really good looking too. Well done. So let's get into it. The weekly tech extravaganza that is Tech Webcast. In 3, 2, 1, let's go!
And welcome to episode 235 of the Tech Webcast podcast, recorded on the 20th of April 2013. Tech Webcast is recorded every Saturday and rebroadcast on Aussie Tech Heads on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Your hosts today are Brad, myself, Andrew, Paul, Steve. We've got Brian back in the house again, and we have a couple of special guests today. We've got Gretchen Chappelle, who is a photographer from Sydney, Australia, and we have Rachel Forst, who'll be with us doing a review of the Wii U and comparing that to some of the features comparatively to the original Wii device. G'day, Brad. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Andrew. Welcome, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, thank you.
That's the way, mate. Good to have you on. There's no Jody or Billy today, unfortunately. They're doing other fun stuff or doing whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit of a loss. They always provide something good to the show, but we've got some cool people on the show today nonetheless, so it should be fun.
Can't wait. How's your week been, Andrew?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Pretty busy, just working away on our app for Zafo.com, so just been keeping on with that. Nothing overly interesting to report. Just the same old, another week. Obviously, the events of Boston, which we'll probably jump into and have a quick chat about later, has sort of been newsworthy this week. But other than that, just same old.
All right, good stuff. Steve, how are you, mate? Welcome back.
Yep, pretty good for another week of Tech Webcast.
Yep, definitely fun packed show today. Would you be any interesting news, Steve? You been in this week, mate?
Besides, work is normal. My Blockbuster video store is closing down, so I'm getting a lot of their DVDs from 99 cents a piece, and I'm going to incorporate that into my multimedia PC in the living room. Awesome.
Oh, nice, good one. And just before we get to Brian, Jennifer Rigero, I do agree. We do have the best intros around the world. Brian Boer, what's up, buddy?
Hello.
Mate, how are
What's
you?
up?
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's been too long.
Too long. Welcome. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Paul, welcome back, mate. How are you?
Hey, how you going, bro?
I'm going well, mate. What's news with you?
Oh, nothing much going on, really. I've just disappointed at the fact that the iPad 5 hasn't come out yet.
You missed it. You actually sold your iPad mini.
Yeah, I sold my iPad mini, but I still got the original iPad with me. So
You missed the iPad mini?
do I miss it?
You miss it?
Not really.
I love the iPad mini. I love it. I use it all the time. Wouldn't sell it for the world. Who else we have on? Rachel, how are you? Welcome.
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good? First time on the show? Enjoy?
Well, I remember previously I did, I talked about Skyward Sword one of the last times.
Okay, that was on this show, though.
Um,
No, it wasn't. That was on another podcast that we forgot to mention. And also we have Gretchen on. Welcome, Gretchen. First time podcasting.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, welcome.
From Sydney. Thank you.
Yep, she's from Sydney, and she takes great photos and that sort of good stuff. So we'll have a chat to you very soon. Andrew, we have an app review we want to speak about before the news.
Yeah, we just wanted to have a chat about a new app that's come out this week, Just.me, which is quite an interesting little app. It's running in a number of countries, and that's actually by Keith Tier, who came on the show a couple of weeks ago, and that app is starting to really gain some momentum, so we certainly recommend you jump on and have a look at that. It's something around messaging and picture sharing and so forth, but it's got a number of funky things. Brad and I were actually using it last night, Brad, to have a bit of a chat and send some voice messages backward and forward. It's a really comfortable little app. What are your thoughts around it?
Yeah, I reckon it's great. It's really easy to use, great interface. I wish they would change the on the side from what's it called? Something from notifications. I want to change a better name for the better notifications. But yeah, it's really nice interface. It's nice app and really good, really fun.
Yeah, it's mainly around sort of messaging and things like that, but it actually allows you to push your Facebook, your Twitter, even SMS and email and so forth. So you actually have a fully enabled messaging platform where you can send a message straight from it to somebody's mobile phone, and that can go out to multiple people. So definitely worth having a look at in the App Store now, and it's free, which is great.
Yes, definitely get it today, and yeah, we'll put a link to it in the show notes for the app.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Andrew, first time for doing the news today, mate. You've actually done the news today, so
dun dun dun.
Oh, come on.
Nervous before we start? Are you nervous?
No, I'm only nervous because I'm still sort of trying to get through a few of the notes for putting the news together. But you know what? We're just going to jump straight into the deep end and make it happen.
Go ahead.
Okay, Twitter has formally announced the launch of its @Music service this morning. And of all places, they did this on the Good Morning America show. So get in there and have a look at that. Sony has released a dog harness action cam mount. It's coming through to Japan. It's essentially a camera mount which allows you to attach a camera through to your precious pet, to your dog, to capture all of those countless moments. We're expecting to see a number of YouTube clips following that one, so we'll keep an eye on YouTube for dogs running around with cameras mounted above their heads. And after nearly a year of operation in rural areas, Sprint is now bringing their 4G service, LTE service, through to 21 additional markets, including Los Angeles, Charlotte, Virginia Beach, Memphis, West Palm Beach. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Sprint goes with that. Obviously, it's quite a large undertaking, and we know a lot of people have been waiting for that to come through. Microsoft this week reiterated that the Windows 8 platform will soon be coming to smaller devices. To date, they've only had the Windows 8 available on 10-inch tablets, but they assure us that they're looking to move into handset markets and possibly even wearable markets. So there's a number of things that are happening there. And Verizon says that its Galaxy S4 will be coming sometime in May, and there's a lot of people who've been waiting for the S4 to come out. My wife, we recently switched through to iPhone 5 because she got sick of waiting for the S4, but there's a lot of people who are waiting for that to come out, and I think it's going to be quite a good handset. I think it's going to be a game changer for a handset. So keep an eye out for that one from Verizon in May.
All right, Daddy, that's all the news stories?
That's all the news. We got 5 news stories there this week, right?
That's great. So let's go with Steve. What are you got any views in them stories, Steve?
Yeah, of course the Windows come out with their Surface tablets, and of course I see them coming with a smaller version, like around the 7-inch, with like everybody else is doing with the Android tablets. So expecting to see that sooner or later.
Stuff. That dog cam story looked very interesting, Andrew. I wouldn't mind getting one for my dog.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. I think it's a pretty good app, a pretty good product. Effectively, you've got a couple of sort of belts that you attach around the dog's sort of neck, around that area, under their front legs, and you can just hook your camera straight up to that. I mean, if you've got a better camera, it's going to be pretty good. I can see a GoPro running around on dogs, in parks before long. It's going to be a lot of fun. As I said, check out YouTube when they start coming through.
Definitely. Rachel, any views in them stories at all?
That sounds pretty interesting, but I don't know why you'd want to see from a dog's point of view. But I guess it could be interesting to see from a whole different perspective.
Yeah, definitely. All right, is that all you have to say about that?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Although, did you know that dogs can see in black and white? They don't see color.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Paul, what's your view on them stories?
Well, there actually is a few videos that Chris Perello put up for dog cam. So he actually has, a GoPro running around with one of his dogs following around, filming him.
Okay.
Which I thought was pretty good. So it's one of those collars, I think, that he had on. So
okay.
I thought that was good. That Twitter music app's pretty awesome as well. It's like Spotify.
Yep. Yes.
So except it's everything that you follow, which is pretty good.
Yep, definitely. Have you been using it all?
Yeah, I used it yesterday. I thought it was pretty good. It brings up all your all the bands you follow and all that sort of things, and just comes up with every song at your fingertips.
Definitely. Are you paying for Spotify at the moment, Paul?
No, I don't really. I use it sometimes, but not really.
Okay, fair enough. All right. What else? Gretchen, do you have any views in them stories?
Oh, look, I think we'll see some cute little short films coming out with the dog's eye view.
Definitely.
Plenty of those will be posted on Google. We have people have created themes, Catter Day and Fido Friday. We'll probably see some doggy cam footage. Fido Friday.
Do you have any dogs, Gretchen?
No, I think I've got a couple of guinea pigs. They're all right. No more pets for now. I'm too busy. I don't have time for the pets. I love a dog, but that's a ways away in the future.
Okay.
After I do a bit of traveling.
Good stuff. Brian, what's your view on them stories?
Well, the dog cam, it seems pretty cool. I know Chris Voss did one, not too long ago with his dog, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
As for, like the Sprint thing, hearing that it comes to Los Angeles, I mean, that's, wow, that it took that long to get into Los Angeles. I would have figured that would have been out, first thing. But the Just Me app, I haven't tried out because it's only for iOS, so that limits me to can't use it on Android.
Okay, well it will work on the iPod Touch. So.
Well, I know, but
I do hear there is a Android version coming, so just hang in there.
Yeah. In the Twitter music app, we discussed this last night on my show with Melissa B, and she's the only thing she's trying to figure out is how to actually get on there. So
I don't know about that. How to get on there? What else, Brian? Anything else you want to add about the stories?
Let's see, dog cam, evil controller. That's well. I guess the only other thing that we should mention, just mainly for archival purposes, is within past 3 hours, they did catch the Boston bomber in Watertown, Massachusetts, alive. So.
Okay. All right, that's good to know, and I'm sure people are happy that he's caught and he's in jail.
Yeah, I'm expecting the bars are going to be totally swamped tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry about that.
It's interesting with that because, as you said, they've only just caught him a couple of hours ago. I actually watched Obama's press conference over here in Australia on Channel 7 just half an hour before the show. The father of the two brothers, obviously one is now deceased and one is apprehended, has come out and said that he believes that they've been framed and been set up, and this whole thing is a sort of a misunderstanding. So it's going to be really interesting. Look, I've got some faith that the U.S. justice system will actually take all of that into consideration as they're going through this process. But it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle it when potentially they're actually putting their hands up and saying, we didn't do this. This isn't about us. But if there's video of them dropping the bags, it's going to be hard to challenge that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I seen that one of the guys' Twitter handles yesterday, and he was talking about stuff. Let's not go into that.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Gretchen, what's your view on the Boston? Are you there? Did she leave or did she drop out?
I think she's just dropped out for the moment.
Okay, well, let's jump into Rachel's review for the Wii.
Yeah, Rachel is going to review the Wii U.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, one of the things I like better about the Wii U, it has a longer wireless range compared to the original Wii. In other words, you can have the controller set as far away, you could be sitting on your sofa, and you could play it right from there. Or if someone's watching TV, you can switch it to and just play on the gamepad. That's really nice. Although the downside is that the battery, it only lasts for certain amount of time before you have to recharge it. But personally, I just like to do the lazy thing, and I just keep the charger nearby.
Okay. What sort of features do you get on that, Rachel?
You can write messages while you play games. Like you can like comment. You can post comments. You can post a Miiverse, which is basically kind of like posting messages on Facebook.
Cool.
You can do drawings. You can post just little notes.
All right, good stuff. And questions, Andrew, to Rachel a little about that.
The Wii U, look, I haven't spent a whole lot of time getting around that. I'm a bit of an Xbox fan myself. I guess Wii has very much been to date a platform where they don't care as much about the graphics and having this perfect thing. It's more around the game style and having a bit of fun with friends. Have they sort of continued this with the Wii U? Is it still around sort of that half a dozen people in the lounge room having a laugh, or have they sort of tried to take it to that serious gaming platform? Are they still happy being that fun
there's
platform?
There's a variety of games coming out. In fact, they're releasing they released one of the Batman games for this, and I heard that a lot of people said it was better quality than the other versions of it.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Also, they have the Amazing Spider-Man. They got I'm trying to think, what else did I get? Oh yeah, Nintendo Land, which is a series of mini games. It's a lot of fun, especially if you have friends over. Basically, it's I guess in a sense it could remind you of Mario Party, and basically whoever's earned the most points or coins in this case is the winner.
All right.
Interesting.
Paul, any questions to Rachel?
So is the Wii U actually that touchscreen little device thing? What exactly do you do with it besides flick and swipe on the screen?
Oh, you can also this can also work with YouTube. You can watch. You can actually access your YouTube channel through it if you want to.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can watch YouTube videos on there. You can watch Netflix on there if you have Netflix for your Wii U system.
Good stuff. How big's the screen?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent size. I guess in a way, it kind of feels like having like a giant DS, but. It takes a little bit getting used to because the controller is big, so it might be tricky if you have small hands.
All right. So, Steve, any questions for Rachel?
Well, what do you exactly use the screen for? Does it have sub-menus, like if you're selecting a game, or how does it integrate into the game?
You can switch between Wii mode or Wii U mode.
Oh, okay.
It comes with a stylus.
Oh,
cool.
Okay.
Sounds good. Gretchen, any questions for Rachel about the Wii U?
No. Sounds, we might give it a try.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Stuff.
I think the Wii sadly gets a bit neglected. It was all super excitement when it arrived, and now it seems like months can go by between, one game to the next.
How much is it to buy, Rachel?
Well, it's around $300 to be exact.
Wow.
Although the regular model costs less, but if you want more memory, then you're better off getting the deluxe model.
Okay.
Trust me, that holds a whole lot more gigabytes.
Okay. All right, Brian. Any questions?
For me being a avid Wii user, what can work? What can you do on the Wii U that you can't do on the Wii? Or, how much can you do? How You
mean the backwards compatibility?
Yeah, backwards compatible. How much of that is?
Well, if you're playing games with friend codes, I guess you probably can't use the games with the friend codes. Well, I mean, I guess you still could, but you wouldn't have Wii Connect 24, which is exclusive to only the Wii. But that's because they have better Wi-Fi connection with programs these days.
But you can't play GameCube games like you can on the original Wii, right?
Oh no, because that's why they're going to release some remakes later on.
Yeah, milk the people again for all that stuff.
Well, and it's to introduce the older games to newer players.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess, but can I just ask one more?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Yep.
As compared to the graphics of the Wii, how much improved is it? Can you see a big difference in the graphics?
I think so, because it seems a bit clearer to me.
Is it like 720p, 1080p?
Hard to describe it, but all I know is that it really looks nice. Also, here's another thing. In the controller, there's a camera. So for some games, you can actually, just take pictures while you're playing, I think.
Okay, sweet.
The Wii U graphical power actually rivals the Xbox 360, so it's got very, very similar processing and graphics power to the Xbox 360, which is pretty good for a device that I don't think is necessarily competing in the same way. As I sort of said earlier, it's going after that sort of fun-friendly market, whereas the Xbox is competing with the PlayStation on that sort of power game, that simulator game. So I think for the Xbox, to have that kind of graphics power is pretty cool. I mean, if you think in the next year or two we're going to be moving Xbox up to the next one, rumored 720 or whatever it's going to be called. I think though the Wii going after a $299 retail price tag, I think it's just a little bit too much. I think they're trying to put themselves into that bracket. I do know they've got costs with the extra little screen on the controller, but I would have really enjoyed seeing it at a sort of a $199 fee and actually have Nintendo consume some of those R&D costs, but really get this thing to market.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Rachel, thanks for the review, mate. Appreciate that. What do you rate it out of 10?
No problem.
What do you rate it out of 10?
I guess I would say I would give it like a 9 out of 10 because I think that maybe they could have added something more to it. I don't know what, but I think it would have been nice had there been the ability to record for Let's Play. That would have made it a lot better. But despite that, it's still pretty good.
Good stuff. Hang around for the end of the show. Paul, you had a question for Rachel, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just wondering, the digital store on the Wii U, I remember the first Wii didn't really have much of a collection of classic games. Does it have a bigger range of games you can download and play, like Nintendo 64 games, etc.?
Oh, more games are becoming available later in the year. That's what I've heard.
All right, cool.
All right, good stuff, Rachel. You're a legend. Gretchen, are you still there, Gretchen? Or did she leave?
Lost connection again.
Oh, no.
She was there and she's literally just lost connection again only a few seconds ago, unfortunately.
Okay, so what do we do now, Andrew? Keep going, mate.
Keep going. Okay, so let's have a look at where are we, Gretchen? Let's just have a quick chat again about the situation in Boston. Is anyone online here sort of close to where that is? Brian, whereabouts are you?
Well, I live in Ohio, and that's like, let's see here. It would take about 12 hours driving to go there, but as compared to what they did, with shutting down the entire city, there was nothing. We weren't even affected at all. I mean, let's see, Cincinnati, Ohio to Boston.
Now we've got Gretchen back on Skype. Gretchen, welcome back. Are you Gretchen?
I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Okay, jump.
Yeah, we hear you.
Tell us what.
Big rainstorms here.
Yeah, that's why we need to be quick. So, give us a quick brief down on what you do. Run down what you do.
Yeah, look, I'm a creative artist, so I kind of go through phases. I do quite a bit of different stuff. At the moment, I'm doing a lot of photography, and I recently got Photoshop installed on my computer, so I've started to manipulate the photos a bit more, which is good fun, learning about processing, and it's just a great creative outlet for me. Before that, I really only had my phone to work with, so a couple years ago I just started making a lot of art with my iPhone.
Okay.
And utilizing a lot of the apps and even recording some of my music on the iPhone. So the idea is that I start to combine my images and my music together to make little film clips, and I can post them up on YouTube or Google or Facebook and share those. Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, any questions?
You said that you started working more with Photoshop and these sorts of things, and you said on your iPhone. How do you find working with images and things like that on iPhones and iPads and so forth? It's something that I've sort of always thought. There's a lot of apps that you can download for image, enhancement and alteration, but I've never really got my head around being able to do that on a mobility device.
Well, I loved it because it's with you always. So like I have a very busy life at the moment. I'm always on the go. So if I had 5-10 minutes, I could create some art while I was waiting, for someone, or, if I was a passenger in a car, I could create something on the go or at night. Everything is there on your mobile device. You don't have to get out your paints and your canvases and, or your computer, which is bulky. The only downside to creating art and imagery on just the iPhone is that sometimes it's quite small, and if you're a bit blind, and then you see your image blown up on a really good res screen on the computer, you might be in for a few surprises visually. But I just think there's so many great apps out there now that you can, and there's a huge wave of this kind of art genre that is created only on mobile devices, whether it's Android, iPad, iPhone. People are doing amazing things with it. So you don't have to have, the latest editing software on a big fancy computer to make something interesting and share it. It's possible now to just use your mobile device.
You said something that was really interesting, that working with the smaller screen, and when you blow it up on the computer, you might look at it and go, wow, that looks, interesting or good or bad. But I find the exact opposite sometimes too much in the graphics industry, where, I might request something to be made and somebody makes it on like a huge 30-inch Mac screen. But when you actually look at what they've made on a smaller screen on an iPhone or something, it looks really horrible. And that's something that I think has been a criticism for too long of the graphics industry, that when you make something on such a big thing and it looks perfect and they send it to you at 1600 by 1200 pixels and it looks square, that's great. But when the reality of content is that it's viewed these days on an iPhone, it's viewed on an iPad. So it needs to actually succinctly work and look good on that device. And I think creating the content on the device that it's going to be consumed on is a really good thing.
Yeah. I think I've noticed across different platforms too. I've got an Android device and an iPhone, and then we've got a PC, and then I do a lot of my work on the Mac, and things do look a little bit different, just subtly different, depending on the device you view it on. I guess part of it's the way it's displayed. But, I think things look great on an Android, but sometimes when you post them up, the quality is in the screen of the device itself, not necessarily in the image, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas I find stuff on the iPhone looks pretty much like it looks when I view it on the computer.
Definitely. What sort of iPhone do you have, Gretchen? What iPhone do you have?
I've got the i4S.
Okay, 4S, yep, good stuff.
Yeah, it's
and do you use iPhoto on there? The app, whatever it's called? I think it's called iPhoto.
I tend to use a lot of different apps. For an image, I tend to favor Snapseed.
Okay,
That's kind of in my workflow. That's one of my first protocols. Depends on if I'm going to do something kind of arty or if I just want to do a straightforward image, what other apps I'll add into the mix. But you can kind of go crazy with the iPhone apps. There's textures and you can totally warp it and distort it and do layers and it's
definitely
got a great potential there for people.
All right, Paul, any questions for Gretchen?
Yeah. Snapseed's really good. It's for a free app. It's really, really good. It's on multiple platforms as well, which I thought was pretty good. I think for the top stuff you do, I think the Samsung Galaxy camera is actually a pretty good thing. For someone like
did you know? I was given one of those recently. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
No, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
You want one?
Well, they gave me one. So Colby Brown, who is a well-known photographer, travel photographer, he also does something called the Giving Lens, which, he travels to underprivileged areas and brings awareness to those parts of the world. But recently, Tourism Australia brought a couple of American photographers out to share an American's view of Australia. And Samsung was one of the sponsors for this big photo walk we had in Sydney just the end of last month. And so they gave a few of us these new Android cameras, the Samsung smart cameras, which we were able to take images and post them up on the go. And yeah, they're really fun, super creative potential. They're the pretty good zoom. So I've been playing with that camera a bit and enjoying it. And, if you've got Wi-Fi, you can post wherever you are straight from your camera without downloading it and then uploading it.
Okay. Good stuff. Steve, any questions? Please be quick.
Yeah, I do. You said before you using like an iPhone now, I thought I heard you something say you got a regular camera now, or do you still mainly use the iPhone for your pictures, or?
I finally bought myself one of the Sony NEX cameras, the NEX6, just so I could show images in raw file format. I think the longevity of that is quite good, just as I'm learning to process the images in Photoshop. So I kind of have this little bag of gadgets now that with the Sony and the iPhone and the Galaxy, and just depending on what has battery life and what I'm trying to capture in the moment depends on what gadget I use to capture an image.
Good stuff. What else are we going to ask you? Rachel, any questions for Gretchen before we wrap?
Not really.
All right, you're not in the photos. Not in the photos then. Not really. Gretchen,
half awake today.
Okay, well then, that's great. So Gretchen, what was your view on the Boston thing before we go? So we just.
Oh, look, like I said, I think it's a heartbreaking thing. I'm not very clued in, so I don't really want to say much.
That's
but
right.
It always breaks my heart to see these news stories, and definitely. It's just it's such a ridiculous waste of energy and life. And if we all just could put our energy into creative things to make the world better, it would be such a much more beautiful world. I don't know why these things happen or what kind of lessons are brought about from it. What makes me upset is to watch America get more and more paranoid too because of incidents like this. And then when I travel back to the States, it's just like, if your 4-year-old's wearing a cardigan, they have to take that off at the airport because they might have some sort of explosive device hidden or something. I mean, it just, exacerbates that kind of mentality, and that's really unfortunate.
All right, Brian, any questions before we go for Gretchen? Any questions?
I've been looking at your pictures on Google Plus, and are these most of these pictures that you've taken, on the iPhone or?
A lot of the recent ones are would be camera images. There's some, the photo walk ones with Colby Brown, all of those that I posted were from the Samsung. Okay. And on Google, if you click on an image and it pops up in the little light box, and then you can scroll down on the right-hand side, there's a little gray bar, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the contents, and it will say photo details. And you click that little button, unless I've done a lot of processing to it, it will tell you what camera I used. Sometimes in the saving process, it'll just save as a JPEG and it won't tell you all those camera details. But most often it will. So if I've used an iPhone, it will tell you even which iPhone I've used, whether it was the 4S or the 3. But yeah,
definitely. So Gretchen, just before we go, what's your view on Google Plus? Real quick, do you like it or?
I love it. I mean, I think that because I joined in the beta phase, it's been a really fantastic journey for me. It's changed. I kind of had abandoned Facebook after I joined Google, but then ironically, Google reinvigorated my Facebook. So now I share more on Facebook as well because of Google. But Google was the first place where I just allowed people to publicly follow what I do, and also where I connected with people I didn't know over common interests. Okay. Whereas I don't know if that would have happened if I had just been on Facebook.
All right, good stuff. Now, where can they find you on the internet? Twitter and that sort of stuff? Do you use Twitter and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I'm expressionistic on Twitter with an X.
Okay, cool, good stuff. And I really love your photo. You've done a good job. I especially like that one. That surfing one too. That's a good one.
Yeah, the guys like that one.
Yeah, really cool. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, all my links are on my Google page or my Facebook page. So
I'll put a link to that. So you can find you there. Steve, where can they get you, mate?
You can get me on Twitter at @Chatterbox_live.
Okay, me, I'm at Brian Oz Tech Webcast. Brian?
At twitter.com/Brian Boer and gplus.to/Brian Boer.
Good stuff.
Same thing with Facebook.
Okay. Paul, where can they get you, mate? Do you want to say anything before we go?
Yeah, you can get me on YouTube at Pico12, and you can get me on Twitter as Pico12, and also Google Plus as well.
What about your iPhone app? How's that going?
Oh yeah, that as well. You can catch me on iOS.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Rachel, where can they get you?
You can find me at DeviantArt. Although on DeviantArt I changed my screen name to Princess Carol.
Okay, what about Twitter and that?
I don't know. It was a feature that that came available when I got a premium membership.
All right, that's great. No, I didn't ask about that. I asked you if you're on Twitter or not.
Oh yeah, I'm also on Twitter.
What's your Twitter username?
Rachel05.
Rachel05. All right, good stuff. Andrew Cunningham.
Yep, you can get me at zafo.com/@Andrew or Facebook and Twitter. Ari from Oz, ARIFROMOZ. And I might just add that we actually missed the biggest tech news of the week, which is that the Google Explorers have now started shipping through to the fortunate few who actually purchased about 12 months ago at the Google I/O conference. So next week we will probably run in and have a bit more of a chat about that and the early experiences of Google Glass.
Oh yeah, definitely Google Glass. Just before you go, Andrew, would you, if you had the spare money, would you buy a pair?
Absolutely.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. I think Google Glass and wearables will be in the future. I think we're just very early at the moment.
I can't get into them. I'm just not for me. I can't see myself wearing them around my head. It's just not me.
It's just first version. You're just looking at the big brick phones. That's all it is. You know, whether or not I buy it now, I don't know if I'd be this early adopter, but they're going to be here. They're going to come. It's going to be on your eyes. It's going to be on your wrist, all that sort of stuff. So wearables are here to stay. It's just a case of how we as consumers adapt to accept them.
Yeah, well, you won't see me wearing a pair. Gretchen, would you be wearing a pair of Google glasses anytime soon?
Well, if they give them to me, I'll wear them.
The same here. If you want to send us some free stuff, we'll wear it. Google.
And a big thank you to Gretchen and also Rachel for being on the show today. We've really enjoyed your inputs.
Yes, thank you for having us. Good to have you on, Gretchen.
Tany you.
Come back anytime. And Steve, thanks, mate. You lost the game, by the way, as always. And
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And Rachel, you lost the game as well. Thanks.
I don't get it.
Shout out to Jody, of course, and Billy.
Oh yes, shout out to Jody and Billy. Shout out to them too. See ya.
Myself, as we bring you the latest, most up-to-date, important tech news that affects you from Australia and the world. Weekly podcast available each Friday through iTunes. Watch the live stream recording of the show at live.thesecrethub.com each Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. or GMT +10. Call in live via Skype or chat in our lounge. However you get us, just make sure you do. Listen or visit our website for more information, www.aussietechhead.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's longest-running tech news podcast.
Well, that's it for Tech Webcast this week. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed having your mind expanded. Tune in next week for more tech talk with Brad, Jason, and whatever crazy guest they've managed to rope in. Don't forget to get the Tech Webcast app from iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at Tech Webcast, and of course, check us out on Facebook too. Until next time, may the tech be with you. Peace.